Oh, okay.
I'm ready. Yes. Yes. Good evening. Welcome to Sports for You on a Tuesday. Y'all know what it is. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means? It's time for John, Nick Freeze,
What it do?
and from an undisclosed location, my man Mark.
What up with it?
Here on a Tuesday live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course the man working the board, working the cameras, of course the Power Father himself, producer Ben Ready. Make sure you liking us on Facebook, Sports for You, Townhouse Media. Subscribe to Townhouse Media on YouTube. Download wherever you listen, whether Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon Music, Stitcher, or Verbal. You can catch us on the digital if you're not watching on the video. Let's get into is we're officially the NBA playoffs are 100 miles and running right now. The Brooklyn Nets are on their way to probably sweeping the Boston Celtics. Up by 25 right now, going into the fourth quarter. And Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving is
James Harden got braids?
Yeah.
Wow.
So not to get into, but as I said, but this is a special day. This is our 50th episode.
Let's go.
It's a celebration. So welcome to episode 50 of Sports for You. Thank y'all for again being with us. Thank y'all for all the support. Thank y'all who've tuned in on Tuesdays where you listen to download. Just thank y'all. It's been a long journey, but we've made it. And we want to thank y'all for your support. Without y'all, this doesn't happen.
Most definitely.
So, gentlemen, let's just reflect. We don't get into a lot to talk about. We don't obviously talk about, the NBA playoffs, NFL, a little fight game. But let's just reflect, man. 50 episodes. We've made it, man. It was just yesterday. We were just starting episode 1 last summer. And now we've already reached half a century.
Most definitely.
I think that's pretty dope, man. Shout out to y'all too, man.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Nick. Shout out Ben Ready. Everybody, man.
Most definitely shout out to everybody.
Let's just take people back on this journey because obviously it's episode 50, but we're just getting started. We still got a lot more episodes of Sports for You still in the catalog to come. But you go back to that last November in 2019 when Mark sent me the text saying you want to start a sports podcast, and we came over here on a Saturday with the Power Father. We did some pilot runs, and then we did a few pilot runs for a few months. Then COVID happened and the pandemic, and the world just shut down. And as the world was starting to get back to some type of normalcy, all the sports was shut down. And then they came back all together at once. Football, basketball, baseball, and Sports for You officially was launched in the summer of last year. We're going to be approaching our 1-year anniversary for our first episode next month. But obviously we started it. Our pilot episode was in November 2019. Huh? Oh, what we got here? Shout out to Pepsi.
Shout out to Pepsi.
Yes. Yeah, open that up, man.
Wait, what?
Pause.
Whoa.
Open up the fridge. Pause.
Whoa. Dude from Chicago?
No. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Oh, wow.
Shout out. And y'all said open them up? That's crazy.
Shout out to Pepsi.
Yeah, that's wild.
Man, for those who can't see, Pepsi, we have a special mini Pepsi fridge.
Shout out to Pepsi. You know what I'm saying?
Equipped with a 12-pack of 6 pack of sodas. So thank y'all as we are going to celebrate this day. Reflect, what was one of y'all? I mean, we did this in our year in review show. What's again one of y'all favorite episodes?
Chris Middleton. An episode that can never be talked about again unless you listen to it.
Man,
But Chris Middleton was most definitely one of my favorite episodes.
That for sure is my favorite. I was going crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
I think Chris Middleton's probably wondering why did I become so famous on Sports for You?
Yeah, it wasn't even his fault.
Yeah,
and he hit the game winning shot, and he looked right at you too.
Next topic.
Shout out, but that was one of my favorites. And then we did the what if episodes.
Oh,
Imagine we had a serious discussion on the possibility of Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon being teammates.
Let's not talk about that again.
Why not? Because
you're right over there, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
By the way, they said Jason Tatum's out for the game. He got poked in the eye.
Man, he's gonna be out for the game regardless.
They're down by 75. He should be out for the game.
Yeah.
Just get ready for next season. Go ahead and get ready. He's probably gonna be at Team USA camp. But that was one of my favorite episodes. And then we talked about another what if it was crazy about the possibility of Shaq could have been a Bull.
Oh yeah, that would have been insane. That would have been crazy.
I'm still trying to figure out how does that not happen?
Somebody most definitely messed up somewhere down the line for that not to happen. That had to be a management problem because I refuse to believe that Phil Jackson was like, no, we don't want Shaquille O'Neal on our team.
I have a heart because obviously look what happened. He ended up coaching him 4 years later.
Yeah. I'm trying to think another episode of mine that was one of my favorites. Oh, when we did the
30 for 30s. That was
our 30 for 30s. That was most definitely that might have been my favorite one.
And yes, because I think the 30 for 30s, and there's so many 30 for 30s we had on our own personal list.
Yeah,
that we had to leave off. Honorable mentions was crazy on that list too.
Yeah, the 30 for 30s. Yeah, that was wild.
And then the fact that we came up with our own future 30 for 30s. By the way, ESPN, if you ever use one of those ideas, send a check over to Sports for You.
They're most definitely gonna use the one for the Florida Gators.
I for sure think that one.
That was most definitely gonna happen.
Especially because of everything now that Aaron Hernandez is no longer here.
Tim Tebow's back on the NFL. So
yeah, we're gonna get into that later. Then just obviously being here to watch the episode when we paid tribute to Kobe and Gigi.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
It was a tough episode, but it was an episode that was well needed because it's still obviously the grief is still fresh, but it was a good episode because we got the chance to remember him. Shout out to Quinn. Shout out everyone who's in the message board. Shout out to SoCal. Yeah, everyone sending us comments, wishing us a happy 50th. So let's talk. We always start off with some interesting topics. One topic we've been obviously opened up recently with a lot is this Deshaun Watson topic. And now it sounds like Deshaun is taking another turn because Deshaun Watson made an appearance last week, gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
Appearance where?
He was seen. He did a video. No, not there. He was doing a video. He was doing a workout video for his, I guess the team, the performance center that he trains at. He was doing basically working out, obviously working on all his QB drills and this and that. And he kind of, took the task by First Take the next day because they thought it was real tone deaf. Because I heard Max basically said, "You're a quarterback. Tell me something we don't know. So tell us something we don't know. Are you innocent?" By the way, game 3 with Nets and Celtics is Friday, so they get 2 days off, and then Sunday, game 4. The series is over Sunday.
Yeah.
And then it's being reported that Houston doesn't think he'll be back. He obviously did not report to OTAs. And there's talks that there are some teams who are still interested in him. Shockingly, I don't know why one of them is in the Broncos. But I've heard the Raiders. I've heard the Dolphins. And I think I heard that the other one was the Eagles. I see. Shout out G Vibes. sending us some congratulations. Everyone sending the love, and all. Shout out to everyone who has their own podcast, man.
Most definitely.
Obviously, it's a movement.
And
Hard work.
did Max say Deshaun Watson should have said if he was innocent or not?
He basically said, "Yeah, tell me something I don't know. You're a quarterback. Tell me something I don't know. When tell me something I don't know, meaning tell us that you know that these allegations, which he can't because obviously
That's what I was
he
about-
hasn't been. He's not in front of a judge.
That's what I was about to say. I wonder if Max knows it's a legal process that's going on.
I mean, I don't know. He's the same.
What do you think? Sandusky himself call in the middle of a TV show and basically admit everything.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
That was the most craziest moment I've ever seen on TV. I've never seen somebody call in while their lawyer is defending them and basically go against everything their lawyer said.
Oh, like SoCal said, he's giving Jason Tatum one game.
That's the same thing I said, but I'm gonna be honest. Without Jaylen Brown, it looks nasty.
Because honestly, and let's be honest, you said before we started the video that obviously Marcus Smart has to be their best defender. Really, Jaylen Brown's their best defender,
Yeah,
but Marcus Smart is their best defensive specialist.
yeah.
Because obviously we don't think about Marcus Smart when it comes to offense.
What about Tristan Thompson? All right, what's the next topic?
The Kardashians out there.
Ooh,
Mm.
that deserves a bomb.
So they don't. But yeah, now the question.
Are you kidding me?
So I'm trying to figure out what do they want Deshaun Watson to say. His lawyer's not gonna incriminate himself. I mean, be smart.
I know what I want to see. I want to see the NFL say you are on this exempt list, but we know that's not going to happen.
And here's the thing, Stephen A. brought that up too. Like, now the letter of the law says he can be on this list, and we've talked about it. He can still get his bread. You just basically getting on a paid suspension.
Mm-hmm.
What is something there that why they haven't done? Now I know it's not just because he's a quarterback.
Yep.
Because you suspended Brady.
It wasn't that serious, and he only got suspended because Goodell really had something out for the Patriots, and you know they went through the legal process and everything, and Goodell didn't like it, and that's the reason why Tom Brady got suspended.
So you think if he wasn't a quarterback, he would have been? Is obviously because remember they suspended AB.
It's not just because he's a quarterback; he's a very good quarterback, and he's a young, very good quarterback.
Good point.
So it's just like I remember not to go back to this guy, but with Colin Kaepernick's situation. If that would have been Colin Kaepernick that year that he went to the Super Bowl,
Right.
I think he would still have this. He would have no problem keeping a job in the league. But since it was on the cusp of you falling off, you know, it looks a little different. So
Good point.
if that would have been like a Cam Newton or a Russell Wilson doing that, it wouldn't have. He wouldn't have lost his job. But he's already up out of here as a quarterback, so that just pretty much sped the process up.
So now the next question is to see shout out to Nick Foster and the Clippers are winning tonight too.
We better.
We'll get into that when we get into the NBA talk because we're gonna talk
We
about
better.
this first weekend. He said, "Ain't nobody worried about Tristan Thompson, barbershop guy voice from Coming to America. ain't nobody worried about no Tristan Thompson."
That's funny.
By the way, shout out to Cat versus Dog return on Sunday. Shout out to
Most
Dolly and
definitely.
CJ. I still say CJ's mic should be muted until next Sunday.
Whoa,
That comment-
Like, is she a woman? Don't do that.
No, but her mic in the studio. We're saying that
Show over.
No, because she said she didn't like Coming to America, Mark. And I'm not talking Coming to America. I'm talking about the original.
Wait a minute.
Wait. No, that didn't just happen.
Yep. Baby. I had to, not the sequel. Okay, cut the beat. Obviously, it's the 50th. But she said she didn't like the original Coming to America.
Yo, that was wild.
I'm most definitely chopping that up. And
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Because people, I forget that there's a pause because obviously, why they should have put the number 2.
Sexist as hell.
No, not that. No, man, ain't no sexism over here. You know, I respect all women, but I had a problem with that she said that she didn't like the original Coming to America.
Yeah.
But people's preference, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But that because that was one of my favorite movies. Maybe because I'm biased, it's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, and obviously we was just and I try to tell people when it came to the second one, not to get, even though we're getting off the sports topic, you always temper your expectations when the sequel takes at least a decade.
Yeah, you really can't compare it, especially as that was most definitely way more than a decade. That was
3.
Yeah, 3 for real. A movie older than me.
That's crazy, ain't it? B. So let's call about another subject with the NFL. Have y'all followed the story with this guy, Eugene Chung?
I've heard a little bit about it, and I remember he used to be I remember him as a lineman in the league.
Yeah, he was a former offensive lineman with the Patriots. He was more recently, I think, an offensive line coach with the Eagles back in 2019.
I think he's coach of the Chiefs too, right?
Yeah. He's from the Andy Reid tree.
Yeah.
So he was saying he was interviewing for jobs, head coaching jobs, but certain teams made a comment about basically saying they didn't want an Asian coach being their head coach.
That's messed up. Why?
That's out of pocket.
It was in so many words. Now the NFL is investigating it. I mean, you might see I sent it to the chat yesterday. We'll find the exact comments. But he said he's not gonna. I would say this. This is a better man. He's not a snitch. So I'll say this because he could have really just whoever the owner that was that said it.
That's not snitching. That's more so that person, whoever said that, he needs to put them on blast because that's a racist comment.
The comment was he was told he was not the right minority.
Yeah, he's lucky to get slapped in the face.
Now the NFL is.
Are you kidding me?
The NFL is investigating it.
Ain't nothing about to happen to that dude that said that.
It really isn't.
Nothing. And whatever happens to him is gonna be a fine or something. I'm pretty sure that person can afford it and just going about their day.
Who says that though, fam?
The people of the Good Old Boys Club.
Just good old boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wild. For you to say you're the wrong minority, that's wild.
Man, I mean, come on.
That's crazy, especially exactly.
I don't know. Y'all, I mean, y'all sure not hiring any brothers, so they must not be the right ones either. Yeah, I mean, y'all have 3 brothers and 1 Latino. So what's the problem?
Yeah, that's real.
But
what they got? Who else is what's the dude that used to coach?
And now Robert Saleh is the first Muslim American to be a head coach.
There we go.
So this is it was stupid. These owners, man,
and not even just like that. It's bad for you to say something like that, especially with the whole the Stop Asian Hate campaign that's going on. So
right.
that's just dumb. That's ignorance.
It's tone deaf.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense for you to say like B said, what's the right minority? What do you mean you're the wrong minority? That doesn't make any sense.
And I don't understand that when y'all haven't really done anything to hire more black coaches. Y'all just really starting letting women get more involved in the coaching game.
Man,
so
look, John, this is like what I've said before. I hate to be this black and white about it, but when these owners, all these old dudes, when they start dying out,
that's right.
That's the only way it's going to change.
That's the sad part too.
Yeah,
the sad part is you're actually telling the truth.
Yeah, it's going to be different, probably like another 10 years, because these dudes can afford to live for forever. So yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Until these dudes start dying out, that's when that's stuff going to start changing.
So Mark, Nick, being ready. Obviously, we're celebrating our 50th, but this is actually an anniversary, one of a great thing in sports, and then just a sad day. Obviously, for those who don't know, today I think is the 56-year anniversary to Muhammad Ali knocking out Sonny Liston.
Hey,
the iconic picture of him standing over Sonny Liston with.
You saw that score.
And then today marks the 1-year anniversary to the murder of George Perry Floyd Jr. So I bring this up because obviously more athletes have been more socially conscious since the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, the shooting of Jacob Blake, but we still have a long way to go, even with the verdict of Derek Chauvin. Obviously, we still have those other 3 officers who are going to be sent to trial in the summer. But man, just to think about where we were at a year ago when this happened.
Yeah.
and where we are now, what are y'all thoughts?
Before we say our thoughts about that, just for the future reference of people who will be in the comment section, I don't want to hear nothing about this whole George Floyd, right? The reason why George Floyd died. I don't want to hear none of that.
Talk.
You know, I don't want to hear this whole overdose thing. I don't want to hear none of that. We all saw what happened.
Talk that talk.
I don't want to hear that crap.
Talk that talk.
That's
Now we can
facts.
Talk that talk.
I don't want to see none of that. No, that's ridiculous. We all saw what happened.
Man was murdered, lynched.
On camera, so everybody can see. Yeah, we still had a trial for it. Really think about that.
Yeah, we watched him die, then we also had to watch him have a trial for him getting killed. That's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
Just shows you we still got a long way to go, gentlemen. Sadly,
Yeah,
That's
even when something just seems like common sense, it's not. People still don't use common sense.
my grandma used to say common sense ain't too common.
and
Well,
common
fact-
sense and common sense isn't made for everybody. And when it comes to government and policies, so
Yeah, especially for those political figures who want to use sports to pander to their constituents. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Bill de Blasio.
Yeah, he's most definitely one of them. But yeah, that's a whole different story for a whole different day.
But we want to just obviously remember this man probably will never get a chance to walk his daughter down the aisle, see her birthdays and proms and everything now. And his family has to still deal with this every single day.
Yep, for the rest of their lives.
But we want to just remember George Floyd for it. His daughter said, "Daddy changed the world," and I believe he has. But we still got a way to go,
Got a long way to go.
gentlemen. But now that we've reconciled, we've talked over the serious topics. It's a celebration for us today, man. Celebration. I'm gonna talk a little fight game first.
Okay.
Because being ready, I didn't think about it till your post I seen on Facebook. Last week we talked about the Canelo, Canelo.
Mhm.
We talked about the Floyd, we talked about the Logan Paul. By the way, Logan Paul, when you come on national TV, there is such thing as censorship.
Yeah.
This is not serious. This is not serious XM TV.
Yeah, you can't just say the first thing that pops into your mind.
Like, come on. 2 big fights were made over the last week.
Uh-huh.
So I talked about last week the situation with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Now, Tyson Fury was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua in August in Saudi Arabia, but an arbitrator ruled that he has to give Deontay Wilder his rematch before September 15th. Well, Top Rank and obviously Al Heyman and the crew, they came to a deal, and Fury Wilder 3 will happen July 24th in Vegas. Probably, and I think it will be at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh wow.
And then also,
I should try to get tickets to that. That's my birthday. My birthday is on that Tuesday.
shout out. And then also that in August, Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. That should be pretty good.
Obviously, everyone thought it was going to be Terrence Crawford, but let's be clear. I think Errol Spence is going to win the fight, but man, this is a smart move for Pacquiao to get one more payday.
Oh yeah, easy payday.
But man,
This will get dropped again.
here's the question, and we brought this up last week.
Mm.
Why did it take an arbitrator to have to get Deontay Wilder this fight?
Because
Fury wanted that bag with Joshua.
no, I think it's a combination of two things. I think it's that most definitely, and maybe Tyson Fury himself feels as if he won off a fluke.
Wow.
Maybe he doesn't feel like he'll be able to beat him in the next fight because he knows Wilder's gonna he's not gonna play around with this fight. He knows that he has to take you seriously. And he wasn't taking him seriously in that first fight. He went into the fight. He wasn't in shape. He didn't go about it in a smart way. I guess he just figured he was gonna knock Fury out, and it didn't work that way.
Yeah. So now
Who won
And
the
then-
first one?
it was a draw.
And then the second one, Fury won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you can argue Fury really won the second one too, the first one, but obviously they weren't going to give him. They didn't give him the fight. So
I don't know. At one point, I thought he was gonna get dropped. They got pretty close. That's probably why I ended up being a draw.
Yeah, I
So
can see that.
So that fight is going to happen in July. And then Pacquiao's going to fight Errol Spence, which probably will set up the Terrence Crawford fight we all want to see. But
Eventually.
we'll see what happens there.
Hopefully.
Well, this is why boxing is whack at times, because it's stuff like this. Look how long you have to wait for these good fights to happen, if they happen.
And they even had this back in the day, bro.
Nah, these dudes, man, back in the day, you was seeing a good fight every 2 months, 2 or 3 months, guaranteed. You was watching a good fight. And these dudes who were the top ranked dudes wasn't scared to fight each other either. That's another thing that's wrong with boxing. You know, everybody wants to have this undefeated record and stuff like that. And all actuality, okay, you have undefeated record, but who have you beaten? You haven't beaten nobody.
Good point.
That's a good point right there.
Even Ali wasn't undefeated.
Sure wasn't.
Oh,
Let's go ahead and switch over to the NFL. A couple of NFL topics we can talk to. Then obviously we're gonna move over to the NBA. So there's been a lot of talk. Let's talk about this NFL action. Obviously, NFL made an announcement today.
Boston is getting washed.
30 out of 32 teams have been approved to have full capacity for their stadiums this season.
What 2 teams weren't approved?
So far, they're not approved, but they haven't finalized with their local areas, and that's the Indianapolis Colts and my Denver Broncos. I know.
Even in LA, they're gonna have full capacity for it, but the Broncos are like, I don't know.
All right, that's and obviously they're saying, and I read from Judy Batista from NFL.com, who said that they're pretty much in the final stages of getting it finalized for the Colts and the Broncos. So it's just gonna be a matter. This is just a matter of time. We'll have full stadiums for the NFL this season.
Are they going to force masks? I'm pretty sure they're not.
I don't think, but they did say they aren't going to make vaccinations mandatory.
I figured that they don't want to lose on money.
And we're going to talk about that because I know a lot of people want to talk about the whole LeBron thing. So don't worry. We'll get to that when we talk NBA, folks. By the way, now the Nets are up 2-0. I know, Mark. Teams who go up 2-0 in the best of 7 series win 93% of the time. So,
I mean, we have a team that has Kyrie Irving and James Harden and Kevin Durant. If you're up 2-0, there's most definitely no reason for you to lose.
That part.
Right. That's the truth.
There's some players who seem like they might be on the move soon. Well, one definitely has made it clear that he's going to be on the move, and that's Julio Jones.
Yeah.
The all-pro receiver from the Atlanta Falcons has quietly requested a trade back before the draft.
I'm about to say it's not quiet no more. Shannon most definitely made sure it wasn't quiet.
And that's what I want to get into, gentlemen. So if y'all didn't see yesterday, during Undisputed, they had a discussion about would Julio Jones be a Cowboy? Because Skip just thinks everybody wants to be a Cowboy.
No.
Which they don't. But
is Julio from Texas?
No, he's from Alabama.
Oh, then
I mean, did they say he was spotted in a Cowboy shirt or something? I don't remember that, but
he took a picture of a Cowboy hoodie.
Okay, there we go.
Some people like the blue star.
Pretty much.
Sorry.
It is. But the question is now about Julio Jones. So yesterday, well, you see, some people saying, Coach SoCal said that Tom Telesco needs to pick up the phone. He's saying y'all GM to pick up the phone, been ready and call for Julio.
Wait, whoa. No, they do not. They already got like 3 Pro Bowl level receivers.
I guess they're saying trade one of them and get Julio.
Who? You gonna trade? Well, they're not going to trade Keenan Allen.
I'm assuming you trade Mike Williams.
Oh no, they're crazy.
He's still on his rookie deal.
No.
Yeah, and first of all, the word is the price for Julio is a first round pick. I don't think you're getting a first round pick for Julio.
You're not. You're not getting a first round pick for a 32-year-old receiver.
You'll be surprised.
I mean,
well, I'll take that back. They're not getting a first round because the Raiders didn't give a first round to get Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was definitely at that time a better player than Julio Jones.
So now Shannon Sharpe calls Julio Jones while Undisputed is on air, and he says, do you want to, play for a contender? What's up? And he basically says, I'm out of there. And I think the problem is some people are missing the part that he actually wants to stay in Atlanta, but he just wants to play for a winning franchise. He said it there, but now everyone is criticizing Shannon Sharpe because they're wondering, Did you let him know when you were calling him that he was going to be on TV?
If Shannon Sharp calls you around that time,
And
you're pretty much going to be on air. You should know that by now. Everybody knows Shannon Sharp has a morning TV show, and I'm pretty sure Julio Jones watches the show. He's been on the show before.
I guarantee you, Shannon Sharp sent him a text message and told him,
Yeah, of course.
you're gonna be on air, and what was gonna happen before he did it. So
yeah, so that's why I don't understand how people were upset. I mean, did y'all really think I think any athlete who follows Undisputed, follows the slow sports talk show situation knows that show was on around that time.
You don't even have to follow it to know. If you're an athlete in general, you know about you know about Undisputed, you know about First Take, you know about all these shows and what time they're on. No matter what time zone you in. If somebody look, I don't know where. Let's say if he was in Alabama, so the shows on out here. What was it on at 6 o'clock?
It was in Alabama.
No, like what time is it on out here?
6:30.
6:30. So
6:39.
So out there it's probably like about like 8, 9 possibly.
Right.
So by that time he should already know. Like Shannon hit me up like, okay, it must be something to do with the show. And who knows? He probably was already watching the show.
Pretty much. So
And for the people who over complaining about it, who cares? If Julio Jones is saying about it, who cares?
yeah. So now the question is, who should trade for Julio Jones? Now the talks that he wants the two teams that he likes are either the Titans or the Patriots.
First and foremost, he is an absolute insane fool for even saying the Titans. Second of all, Patriots, I understand.
He wants to play with Cam Newton.
Yeah, that's I could already see that.
why?
But I mean, hey,
Same draft class.
you got to think about it like this. They play against each other in college, everything. So they've known each other for a long time.
And they were in the same draft class.
Yep. And he probably feels as if he can help Cam out.
He can throw the ball for him.
Marcus, your favorite person, Shane the Sunshines, he's just left a comment congratulating us on our 50th episodes.
Thank you.
Go far, keep it going. Good luck. Tell Sophie Daddy loves her.
All right, so those are the two teams. All right, are we saying the teams that we think should make the move for him?
Let's go for it.
All right. If I am Baltimore, I am calling Atlanta at least 3 times a day.
I think there are odds out, by the way. Go ahead. Mark, you go next. I'm gonna find the odds.
I would most definitely 3 times a day. They would have to block my number.
I think the Niners should call for him.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
So I think that's probably one of the teams. But here's the problem with the Niners. Okay, so here are some odds.
Him and Debo would be insane.
They have the Patriots minus 150. You have the Titans plus 300.
Okay.
You got the Ravens plus 700.
Okay.
The Packers plus 750. The Niners plus 800. The Colts plus 900. Chargers plus 1,200. Eagles plus 1,600. Your Raiders, Nick, plus 1,800. And the Giants and the Bills plus 2,000.
The
Sports Line has the Niners plus 250 and the Raiders plus 300. There's a lot of varying odds out, but
the Raiders not gonna be able to afford him unless he restructures his contract. Our cap numbers are weird right now.
So right now it looks like the Patriots are right now the Patriots and the Titans are the favorites according to Vegas.
But we do have a lot of draft capital we can give to him, so that's a whole different story.
And I think that's all really Atlanta wants.
Yeah, we most definitely have because we got a whole bunch of extra draft picks for some apparent reason. I don't know where they came from, but we got a whole bunch of extra draft picks, especially like the second, third roundish, like between that range over the next couple of years. So it might, if it comes down to that, but I can't really think of no reason why we would be able to do it.
If I'm the Patriots, I'll make the call because simply
easily.
If you trade, obviously Belichick really doesn't care about first round picks.
Nope.
Obviously now you have Mac Jones. You need to, and obviously we expect sometime this year he might be. You just never know. I think if Cam is healthy, he's gonna get a red shirt year.
Yeah.
But we have not been proven that Cam Newton can stay healthy, so we need to see.
Well, Cam was fine until he caught COVID.
Good point.
After that, it was over.
And they're getting getting 7.
No, well, in all actuality, that wreck was something I feel as if that affected him later on instead of like it's one of those situations where you the injuries end up being long term instead of short term.
Mark, you seem a little skeptical about Cam Newton.
Because he's a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't even think he was playing all right until he got hurt. I think he just had a bad year the whole year from beginning to end before COVID there too. But I do think that'd be a good place for Julio to go, especially because Julio and Mac Jones got that Crimson Tide.
Yeah, whatever that is.
That Crimson Tide connection.
Well, no, another quarterback. Well, speaking of quarterbacks, one who's seemingly everyone keeps talking about is Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers made his first public appearance since the rumors were released that he wants out of Green Bay. He was on SportsCenter last night for Kenny Mayne's final SportsCenter. And he's basically saying he has no issue with them drafting Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have an issue with his teammates. He doesn't have an issue with the coaches. His issue is just with the lack of communication between him and the front office.
That sounds like something that Brett Favre said around the time that he was a Bulls.
So now the question is, and now everyone's wondering, what happens with Aaron Rodgers? And if you're Green Bay, do you placate to Aaron Rodgers, basically saying the rumors were either he goes or the GM goes?
If I am Green Bay, I am telling Aaron Rodgers, either you're playing for us this year or go ahead and retire.
What about Green Bay for Julio, guys?
Now, that's a whole different story because you get Julio Jones over there with Devontae Adams. That's kind of crazy.
Trade Jordan Love for Julio Jones in the first round pick. Bye.
I don't know if Atlanta wants Jordan Love, but all right.
Yeah, I'm about to say if they accept Jordan Love, then yeah.
Well, he's not playing. He's not going to play anytime soon because obviously Matt Ryan's doesn't miss games like that.
Yeah, he never gets hurt. That's crazy.
I can't see it. Well, maybe Green Bay. I think Green Bay should trade Aaron Rodgers, man, and stock up on draft picks, man.
So yeah, they can most definitely get a lot of draft picks for Aaron Rodgers.
Right to Denver.
So they can start the rebuild.
Hey, watch out, man.
Right to Denver.
No, y'all getting Deshaun Watson.
Right to Denver. Well, you won't hear me complain. You wouldn't hear me complaining as long as he's eligible to play.
Yeah.
As long as he's eligible to play, I wouldn't complain about getting Deshaun Watson. Everyone's saying that, and I want to ask you guys this on the Deshaun Watson front. If a team trades for them, can they handle is it going to be any backlash? Because some people were bringing up, obviously, they remember the backlash when the Eagles signed Michael Vick. So, I hope Barkley's not going to make another guarantee.
Oh, he'll be all right. He didn't do it to a dog, so they don't care.
They think that because of sexual assault, we're in the Me Too movement, that there's obviously will take there's going to be a lot of backlash from people about him going to about teams trading for him.
Is that Barkley guarantee?
Probably. He probably guaranteed something against the Lakers. He said he basically said that no. Basically, last year. Oh, Nick.
Oh, yeah, we done. We're done.
Oh, Nick.
Barkley just said guarantee we gonna win. Yeah, it's
over.
Nick. Yeah, we about to get swept.
Barkley just guaranteed the Clippers gonna win tonight, Mark.
Yeah, we about to get swept.
That's about to be ugly for the Clippers.
Yeah, we about to lose by like 50 points.
Y'all not gonna win till y'all go to Dallas, man. Oh, damn. Oh.
Yeah. He did that on purpose. You think he's funny? Yeah, it's over for us.
So yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, man. I don't think he's going. I personally don't think he's going anywhere. But if it happens, come right to Denver. Come right to Denver. But there's another player who's going to be who might be on the field this September.
Who that?
One Timothy Tebow.
He's going to be on the field.
Tim Tebow. We brought this up during our draft watch party. We brought this up last week, and now we're bringing it up again because now it's official. Tim Tebow is back in the National Football League. He signed a 1-year deal as a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars to reunite with his former college coach, Urban Meyer.
And I heard his jersey is supposed to be like a top 10 jersey.
No, it's a number 1.
It's number 1?
He has Tim Tebow, since he signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think it was in Monday or Tuesday, has the top 5 selling items on NFLshop.com right now. Adult jersey, men's jersey, women's jersey, youth jersey, and I think t-shirts or whatever. But Tim Tebow has the top 5 selling items on NFL Shop right now.
Well, the people in Florida and they love Tim Tebow, and I guess the Christians from out there love him as well.
Let me say
Wow.
this as a
They
man.
do, for real.
Yeah, and I look. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters in Christ out there. Please do not make this a spectacle.
So like,
Please, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We're really finna make a spectacle of a fourth string tight end. Pause.
Yo.
He's not even gonna be on special teams probably.
he
might end up being a starter.
he's going to see the field. I promise you that.
Man, look.
He will not make it out of training camp after the preseason. He is going back to the SEC network.
Skip Bayless said he's a better blocker than Shannon Sharp.
Skip Bayless need to block himself for saying something that's stupid.
Are you kidding me?
That's dumb. Better blocker than a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
I reserve my thoughts for Skip Bayless.
Yeah, this dude. Yeah, get out of here with that crap.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So now some people are saying, well, what if Trevor Lawrence throws an interception? You're gonna have fans chanting Tebow. Well, I'm gonna say, well, yeah,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I think Trevor Lawrence is worried about Tim Tebow. I really don't.
Yeah, I highly doubt that he's worried about that.
He's not worried about Tim Tebow at all.
This dude been the top ranked quarterback in his class since he was in like high school. He's not worried about nobody.
All right, and the Lakers and Suns are finna tip off in the next minute. Lakers need to try to even this series up. I think we're going to.
Both LA teams are in trouble if they lose this game.
By the way, whoever is the schedule makers in the NBA, what were y'all
Trash.
thinking?
They're terrible.
So for those who don't know, the Lakers and the Suns are finna play right now on TNT.
At 7:00.
And then in 30 minutes from now, the Clippers and the Mavs are going to play on NBA TV.
That makes absolutely no sense.
You do not have two teams in the same market on at the same time. Either one could have played last night, one played tonight, or you have one of them play tomorrow, but you don't do that.
Especially,
that was dumb.
especially a playoff game out of all things. That's just insane.
Yeah, so I don't know who made that. Who made that schedule?
Let's see if Anthony Davis made the trip from LA to Phoenix.
He better. If not, he might as well be finding new real estate back in Chicago because I know he just bought that huge mansion that everyone's reporting.
And he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I mean he's not, but he needs to. He needs to show up.
Unless LeBron say something, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. He just got to show up. Show up. Yeah, tuck your jersey in and get out there and play. You are not. DeAndre Ayton is not better than you.
He got outplayed by somebody who's like DeAndre Ayton was what Greg Oden was supposed to be.
Good point.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I don't know.
He was. Well, Oden was. I don't think Greg Oden
couldn't shoot like he could.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
13 points, 5 for 16.
By the way, when I look at Phoenix, I mean I know they have Chris Paul now. I still just be wondering what would it have been like if they would have actually drafted Luka with the number 1 pick, and they would have had Luka and Devin Booker.
I understand what you're saying, but it's like what I said before. In basketball, no matter who it is, if you have a center that's like about 7 feet tall, who could shoot, defend, and rebound at a high level, 9 times out of 10, this dude's gonna get drafted number 1 overall because you can literally plug him into any system.
Unbelievable, but yeah. So by the way, shout out to Trae Young. We're gonna talk about him because we finna get into this NBA.
I actually forgot that Atlanta made that crazy run at the end of the season to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they fired their coach. They fired their coach. They fired their coach,
and it worked.
Nate McMillan. Now he got fined for trying to say the NBA try to get the Knicks into the playoffs, but he might be right. But let's talk some NBA, gentlemen, because obviously we're now at the start of the NBA playoffs. We're now into game 2s. We've had a couple of offseason awards already announced. Let's start there first. Yesterday it was announced Jordan Clarkson blocked by Anthony Davis. Good job. Run it, Dennis Schroeder. Earn your $20 million.
He ain't getting that.
Yeah, gotta make that KCP. Wow. He gotta make them wide open shot. He gotta make those wide open ones. But yesterday it was announced Jordan Clarkson was named the 2021 Sixth Man of the Year, as we all predicted.
Yeah, that was pretty much expected.
But it was it was nice how they did it. They had him and Joe Ingles both being interviewed pregame by TNT, and they asked Who can y'all name any Utah Jazz in franchise history who won 6-man? And Clarkson said 0, but Joe Ingles said 1. And he said who? And he pointed right at Jordan Clarkson. And here comes the 6-man trophy right there for Clarkson to receive on national TV. So shout out to Jordan Clarkson.
That was pretty dope.
And then today it was announced, another one we pretty much predicted. Julius Randle is the 2021 most improved player. 20 points, 10 rebounds, foul. And it was an interesting get. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah, he took one.
Yeah. Oh, that's fuck. No.
He might have took one right where might in the Valley of the Sun. Pause.
Oh!
That might get overturned for an offensive foul.
That should be.
No, it was a foul first.
Oh,
They're not
dang
gonna
it.
overturn it. It was a foul. They trying to see if it was gonna be a flagrant. Or,
Ouch. Ouch.
That should be something. So you're not supposed to do that kick out, but it's dope to see both of them win the awards, considering what they went through with their tenure with the Lakers.
Yeah. So in the last year, I'm gonna give you a timeline of all the young Lakers the Lakers have drafted and traded. They traded Jordan Clarkson in 2019 to Cleveland to free up the space to get LeBron. Him and Larry Nance to Cleveland, the space to get LeBron. But it started first when they traded D'Angelo Russell to Brooklyn first. He became All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
Clarkson gets traded to Cleveland, and he's ended up getting traded to Utah, and he now becomes 6-man. They didn't bring back Julius Randle. He goes to New Orleans for a year, and then he ends up in New York, and now he's the most improved player and an All-Star. And then you had Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, Josh Hart all get traded to New Orleans to get Anthony Davis. Brandon Ingram became an All-Star and became most improved player last year. So the young Lakers have all flourished since they've left the purple and gold. They just weren't ready at the time the Lakers drafted them for us to see.
It wasn't the fact that it wasn't ready. It wasn't going to work with all of them on the same team. At least with prime example with BI and Randall, they're their own. They have their own team, so they wouldn't be able to get the shots and the looks they would get right now if they were still on the same team. It would have been dope. It would have been dope to see all of them on the same team playing at the level that they are at.
Right.
But it wouldn't have happened that way. Somebody would have got shortchanged somewhere down the run.
So now we still have a few more awards to be announced. They announced obviously the nominees for all the other awards, including MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, 6-Man of the Year, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and we'll be finding those out.
So is Rudy Gobert getting Defensive Player of the Year again?
He shouldn't. It should go to Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but they like Rudy Gobert. So.
It should go to Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the. Go ahead, Mark.
I agree. It should be Ben Simmons, but they probably will give it to Gobert.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, he did. I mean, didn't him stop in the league? Wasn't that enough defense in the world?
That's why he's going to win. He's the best defensive player ever. He stopped sports.
I mean, he stopped. Technically, he didn't stop sports. He stopped the world almost. He pretty much, because obviously when sports stopped, the world stopped.
He did that for Napoleon.
Wow.
Go ahead.
But let's talk about how the playing tournament. So in the East,
they gave AD a flagrant.
That's garbage. Well, I'm not sure.
I mean, that's not garbage. He shouldn't have kicked his foot out.
I'd have just been an offensive foul. I mean, I don't think it was intentional, but I get it. The rule is you can't kick.
You can't kick in general. And he most definitely kicked the tip of his shoe right in the groin area.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, that most definitely you have to get something for that one. That was crazy.
Wow, this is an interesting start to this game.
Yeah, for real.
Was the playing tournament a success to you guys? Obviously, let's recap the East. We was here when Boston beat Washington, and then we had then Indiana they beat Charlotte, and then so Indiana and Washington played for the 8th seed, and Indiana won. I mean Washington won. Now they're playing the Sixers in the first round, and obviously they gave them a good run in game 1. Obviously, they call flagrant on AD, but he's still going to get 2 free throws.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I had no problem with the playing tournament.
And then let's go over to the West. The West was more interesting because obviously Memphis, they beat the Spurs. Lakers beat Golden State and they go on to face the Suns as you see right now. And then Memphis and Golden State have a classic on last Friday. And Memphis went ahead and everyone had Golden State penciled in. Memphis went and said, no, we not done yet. And that's exactly what happened. And they ended up advancing, and now they're up 1-0 on the Utah Jazz. Ja Morant. I hope y'all paying attention to this guy, man. He's the rookie of the year. He was the rookie of the year for a reason last year. But this brother is on his way.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all thoughts on the success or of the playing tournament? Is this something we're gonna see for the future?
I only have one problem with the playing tournament. I don't like the fact of how the stats that you get in those games don't apply to nothing. Yeah. So because technically that's not a playoff game and it's not a regular season game.
That don't make sense.
So that 50-point game that Tatum had in the long run, it doesn't mean nothing.
So is it just highlights?
At that point, it's just we all know he scored 50 in this tournament game, but it doesn't count towards his regular season stats or his postseason stats.
That has to be the stupidest.
So yeah, that's the only thing I have a problem with. So in the long run, when you're gonna look at Jason Tatum and they're gonna show how many 50-point games he had at the end of his career, he's gonna be shorted one because this one during the tournament didn't count.
Got it.
Oh,
that's whack. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Besides that, the playing tournament is dope.
What did you think about the playing tournament, Mark?
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of it, but I like how it turned out this year. Because they let Ja Morant and the Grizzlies get inside the playoffs. I think even though they won, it's probably gonna be a better matchup. I still would prefer to see Steph get to the playoffs.
Of course.
But
There you go.
I don't think that playing tournament benefits a lot of teams because they're playing extra game or extra 2 games than everybody else.
And then you may have teams like what people said the Clippers did. They may have teams that lose games on purpose just to affect these other teams that are at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So the Clippers, I think it was the Clippers and the Nuggets. They both lost games in order for some other teams to either catch up or something like that to throw off the play-in tournament.
So, talk about the playing tournament. We got the chance to see LeBron versus Steph.
Mm-hmm.
So, and everyone is criticizing. Oh, I heard Max the other day. Oh, Steph didn't do this in the play-in, didn't do this in the final 3 minutes of overtime, and blah blah blah. I get it, Max. You don't like Steph. You basically said you think Iguodala's more clutch than, which is probably the most ignorant thing you ever said about basketball.
I've heard him say worse, but that's most definitely top 5.
But everyone's bringing up now what happens with the Warriors. Now, Bob Myers is saying that they're planning on offering Steph Curry an extension in the offseason, a $200 million extension this offseason. Yes.
How long is Klay Thompson under contract for?
He signed a 5-year deal. So he missed last year. He missed this year. He has 3 more years left.
Oh, so he has 3 more years left?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steph ain't going nowhere. Everybody get this whole Steph to the Lakers or Steph to New York or Steph to wherever. Get all that up out of here. As long as Klay Thompson.
Wow.
What in the world just happened on that play?
Drake Crowder basically threw the ball in the backcourt thinking somebody could retrieve it, and he threw it right to LeBron.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. But as long as Klay Thompson's up over there, he's not going nowhere. I think he most definitely realized. Don't get me wrong. Steph is a great one of the greats. But if he didn't realize it beforehand, he most definitely realizes it now that Klay Thompson is most definitely a big part of their team success.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And as long as those two are together, they are a dangerous combo. If Klay's even at 85% of what he was before or 80%, their team is still very, very dangerous. Just on the simple fact of those two are still there.
So now you wonder with Steph. So some people are saying, oh, they missed out. They shouldn't have drafted Wiseman. They should have drafted LaMelo. But I'm like this. If you're drafting LaMelo and Klay's coming back next year, LaMelo is not up He's not Clay. He's not a person who can run off screens and be a catch and shoot player. He's more like Steph, where he needs the ball to operate.
And they already have another point forward over there in Draymond Green, who actually works. It's weird how Draymond, like, his impact is most definitely at his best when both of them are on the court.
By the way,
it is insane.
Did Draymond shot ever come down yet?
What you talking about? That little shot he thought he was gonna make?
I don't know what that was. Mark, what was that, man?
A bad shot.
Oh, that was dumb. He should have put up for the float. I mean, for the jump shot at the free throw line.
Oh,
so the Warriors. Another topic we want to talk about with the play-in tournament. What about the playoffs? The Celtics. We talked about the Celtics. The Celtics obviously seem like they're on their way out in the next couple of games. But what changes do they make? I mean, I don't really care for the Celtics. You know, I'm a Lakers fan. But if you're Danny Ainge, what is Danny Ainge going to have to do to realize that he really screwed this up?
Apologize to Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, it seemed like they're on hill ever since that.
Yeah, in all honesty, and I think what happened is that they end up being what's that term called? I think basically they really had too many good players at the same position,
right? And
I always said that they should have traded Gordon Hayward to at least get something for him, or even like players or something like that to that extent, because they really didn't need him, and we all knew he was going to be gone once his contract was up, anyways.
By the way, Boston, this is crazy because if you think about it, they tricked Philadelphia thinking they want to take Markelle Fultz at once so they can take Jason Tatum. Had the Sixers just not made that deal and Jason Tatum would have fell to them at 3, you would have had a big 3 of Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Jason Tatum.
That would have been insane. I think Philly would have won one by now. Would they have won one by now? I don't know. That team would have been difficult to beat. But
yeah, but you also got to see. I wonder if that happens, how would Jason Tatum have developed?
He still would have developed all right because he still would have been able to be a perimeter scorer because Ben Simmons was going to take no shots away from him because Ben Simmons doesn't shoot.
Man,
yeah,
Jason Tatum's nice, man.
He's really good, and he used a lot of ISO. I think that him not having the ball in his hand a lot, and on top of that, being a third, maybe a second and a half option after Embiid. I don't know. I don't know if his development would have been as fast as it is where he get his own team.
It probably could have because you got to think about it. He was like he was basically the second option when he got drafted, second to third option. And, you know, he figured it out, but what really helped him develop into that was because, I mean, Kyrie got ghost. So that pretty much made him the number one.
Yeah, I think he took that from Kyrie in Boston, though.
I do not want to see Anthony Davis shooting any threes.
I'm tired of seeing Anthony Davis shoot 3-pointers.
I mean, come on. Did Vogel, did we not get did we not make adjustments?
Now, when I say the stuff about Anthony Davis, that's the stuff I be talking about. Little stuff like that.
Did we not make adjustments? I mean, I do not want him shooting 3. I want him in the paint.
Yeah, because
DeAndre Ayton should not be owning.
What's Chris Paul doing?
He flopped.
Chris Paul flopping?
Yeah, he thought he was gonna get the foul, but obviously he didn't. Get the defense. Good defense.
Man, this has been going on for the past 2 minutes. This is ridiculous. But yeah, Danny Ainge is gonna have to really look in the mirror this offseason and really figure out what he's gonna do.
It's crazy how LeBron been in the league 30 years and they ain't lost no athleticism.
Wow, it really is. I mean,
yeah, for real, huh?
Just watch the alley-oop he about to catch.
Wow. So here we go. Where we going, AD? Oh my God!
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
that's how you play in the playoffs. Now, LeBron said, "Yeah, the ankle." And Vogel says he's going to be some times where he look like he's going to take some plays off. He's kind of pretty much content. Man, y'all better put some respect on that man's name.
There's no way in the world a 36-year-old should be jumping that high.
No one. But that happens when you paying $2 million for off-season training though.
And
Hey, I seen somebody make a joke about that. They was like, Jordan have to do that.
Well, what the heck y'all think Jordan was paying Tim Grover for?
Yeah, to make him steaks and lobsters all day.
Did y'all not watch The Last Dance when they were filming Space Jam?
That's what I'm saying. People just be talking this.
I mean, come on, like when Jordan had to get back into basketball shape for playing baseball, or as Mark said, was suspended.
And when does Mark?
And yeah, you too.
Shout out to District X.
Yes, obviously shout out to District X. Hey, shout them out. Get your merch.
Yeah.
So in The Last Dance, they built a basketball court on the set of Warner Brothers studio so Jordan get back into shape.
Yeah, that's
And Tim Grover had to basically retrain Jordan how to, be back in basketball shape because he had already trained him to be in baseball shape. So now he had to get back in. So what you think with Tim Grover? You think he was doing that stuff for free? Tim Grover, go look at Tim Grover's resume. And not just Jordan. It's Kobe. It's Dwayne Wade. Go look at his resume.
He's made multi-million dollars in the offseason.
It was Tim Grover who told Pat Riley to take Dwayne Wade over Chris Kaman.
Wait a second. You mean to tell me that they were actually debating about drafting Chris Kaman instead of Dwayne Wade?
Yes, because Pat Riley said he needed a center since Lonzo retired.
Are you kidding me?
And he was debating between Wade and Kaman, and he asked, "What do you really want?" He was like, "I want a guy who's going to be next level, who's going to be a star." And Tim Grover told him, "That's Dwayne Wade."
All right, so where? All right, we'll talk about that later. That's insane. I didn't know.
Training him for the draft out of Marquette, so therefore he ended up, basically convincing Pat Riley. Someone brought that up. They brought that up on 17 today about
He played 12 games
Olo Candy.
and he wasn't even that good.
Because Travis said, he went to UC Santa Barbara. Oh, great. Not a foul. But he went to UC Santa Barbara and played Pacific. And they said Michael Olowokandi is going to be the number one pick in the draft. And he was like, is there another Michael Olowokandi? And it was like, no, this guy, I just watched art. He said he know the guy who is the center at UC Santa Barbara wasn't going to the NBA. He owned Michael Olowokandi. Michael Olowokandi was getting owned by a dude at UC Santa Barbara. And the Clippers when they took him with the first pick.
And what school he went to again?
The University of Pacific.
He is they will never, ever have a player drafted that high from that school ever again.
By the way, you know who else was in that draft? That was a 98 draft.
Hold on a second. Let's go over the players that the Clippers could have drafted in '98 draft because I'm already mad at the fact that we could have got Paul Pierce at the very least. I know Dirk was in that draft as well.
Yep, Dirk.
It was a few people. Let me see. Oh my God, Mike Bibby was the next pick. We could have.
Mike Bibby was number 2.
Oh my gosh, Antoine Jackson, Vince Carter.
Yep.
Robert Traylor, Jason Williams, Larry Hughes, Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, Bonzi Wells. All of them were drafted after Olowokandi in that order.
Now look at 03 and look at how close y'all were to drafting Dwayne Wade.
This is insane.
Dwayne Wade would have been a Clipper with Elton Brand.
That's about to be nice. Dwayne Wade and Elton Brand.
Yeah. By the way, Ben Ready, oh, nice, Schroeder. You tagged the Sports for You the page in an article you found on Facebook about Elton Brand. You want to share? You want to share that so we can have this discussion? I want to know if Mark knew about this story as well. About a certain former number one overall pick who's been in the news a lot lately for a lot of comments he's made on social media.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Kwame Brown.
Y'all better watch your mouth.
I hope. Yeah, he's not listening. Is he? I hope he ain't got to.
Hey, you know what's funny? I actually met Kwame Brown before. It was a long time ago when he was, obviously he's with the Lakers. I was at Santa Monica Pier, and I forgot it was a year the Spurs had just won the championship too.
That was 05.
It had to be
05 or 07.
So he was up over there, and like they had like some little championship display up over there at Santa Monica Pier, and he's one of the players that came up over there. And you never realize how tall 6'11" is until you actually meet somebody that's 6'11".
Mm-hmm.
That is a very, very, very different breed of human. A 6'11", 7 foot tall person, they are not an ordinary person in life.
I want the Lakers they don't feel like they need to double team Devin Booker like he's Steph Curry.
Yeah, because they definitely don't have to do that.
So Kwame Brown, he's been talking a lot lately. He recently, obviously, he's called out Steven Jackson. He's called out Matt Barnes. He's called out Stephen A. Smith. He's called out Skip Bayless. He's called out Rob Parker. He's told, wow,
get out the way.
Why are you flopping?
Yeah, that's what you get. You're like 7 feet tall or like 280 pounds. What are you flopping for?
You really, y'all finna give DeAndre Ayton a new contract before the end of this.
Yeah, he
DeAndre
Ayton for real.
Finna get a new contract after this game.
Well, go ahead. What you saying, John?
So he also called out LeBron, saying LeBron needs to tell these young guys, stay with your high school sweetheart, marry sisters, and all that other stuff. We all know the situation with Matt Barnes and the whole. And then now Steven Jackson saying he wants to meet up with him so they can hash things out. It's just, but Kwame Brown's been in the news lately because Ben Ready found an article today on Facebook about Michael Jordan. And obviously we all know Michael Jordan's legacy as a GM was drafting Kwame Brown number 1, passing up on Tyson Chandler, Pau Gasol, Eddie Curry.
They said he killed all those in the pre-draft workouts too.
And that's probably why he ended up going 1. And they're saying that Jordan basically was when he treated the Kwame Brown the way he was treated because Abe Poland, who was at the time the owner of the Wizards, who brought Jordan in probably to be the owner in waiting, he didn't want to trade him Jordan back to the Bulls in a deal that could have sent Elton Brand to the Wizards.
He didn't want to trade Kwame Brown to the Bulls.
No, he didn't. Am I correct? Being ready, he didn't want to trade Michael Jordan to the Bulls, right?
Yeah, he didn't want to trade Kwame Brown to the Bulls.
He didn't want to trade Kwame Brown for Elton Brand.
Yeah, because that was the plan of them drafting Kwame Brown was to trade him over there to Chicago to get Elton Brand.
So then that means Tyson Chandler would have never ended up with the Bulls. He would have still been with the Clippers.
Yep.
But they would still would have took Eddie Curry.
Yeah.
Because you would have so man, you basically would have had 2 high schools. You still would have had 2 high school Twin Towers.
I don't think they would have took Eddie Curry. Who knows what they would have drafted at that point?
Yeah, that's true. I could have changed the whole.
Yeah, who knows what? Let me see. I'm about to go back to that draft, but go ahead.
2001.
I could have changed the whole direction of that draft, man.
Well,
for real.
Well, we all know Michael Jordan was supposed to be the owner of the Washington Wizards eventually, but it didn't happen. So now that's why he ended up coming out of retirement, playing for the Wizards. He was the president. He was the president of basketball operations, and man, he was horrible. Obviously, he traded Rip Hamilton for Jerry Stackhouse because obviously he just believed in everybody from North Carolina should be playing for North Carolina. He hired Doug Collins as the coach. There was this rumor that they was going to try to get Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing over there with Jordan. Yes.
All right. So these are the next 2 players after Eddie Curry.
Yeah.
So it says Kwame Brown number 1.
Yes.
Tyson Chandler number 2. Gasol number 3.
Yep.
Eddie Curry was number 4. So if that trade happens, Eddie Curry, of course, doesn't get drafted by Chicago.
Okay.
So they may end up drafting either a Shane Battier Jason Richardson. Joe Johnson's available later on in this. A couple more picks away. Who else? I'm trying to think of another guard that's right here. Well, not Rodney White. Yeah, it probably would have been either Shane Battier or Jason Richardson.
It would have been Shane Battier.
More than likely.
Everybody loved Shane Battier coming out of the draft.
Well, Golden State didn't like him that much because they drafted Jason Richardson before.
Yeah, shout out
to Jay Rich, a very underrated player from that era. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he
doesn't get talked about a lot. Everyone talk about you win the dunk contest, but if you watch Jason Richardson,
he was a very good player.
And obviously, when the athleticism left it, what the heck was that KCP?
KCP 3-pointer.
He just
because Jason Richardson 3-pointer became very good after he stopped dunking on everybody.
Oh, that KCP
PG.
Well, he's KCP J. Cole.
Wait, hold on now.
Let me say this.
Everybody relax.
Look, let's be real. That highlights that Josh sent to the chat about J. Cole. And now J. Cole's getting, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's taking somebody else's well-deserved spot. But here we go again. Look, yes, J. Cole had a plug because he's Jermaine Cole. He's a Grammy-nominated superstar and all that other stuff. But I think he truly has a passion for basketball. It's not like he's playing in the G League. He's playing in Basketball Africa.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's not playing like a big league. He's playing for the Rwanda team, right?
Pretty much. He does. Marc Gasol sighting. Wow, a Marc Gasol sighting.
Yeah, but go back to what you were saying about Kwame Brown.
So Kwame Brown is basically, he's tired. Yeah, he's been talking. There, make that, Keith. But he's getting tired of everyone being, basically being the joke for the last 20 years. He's a bust. And by the way, how do y'all feel about even saying we need to retire the word bust? Pause.
I don't think that word needs to be retired, but I think
good still.
It is there's certain players where it shouldn't be labeled on.
Kwame Brown,
in my opinion.
Kwame Brown wasn't a bust, man. I mean, I felt like you have 13 years in the NBA.
Yeah, that's a great career.
That's not a bust, man. And I think that people have to realize that all because you didn't average 20 points a game don't mean that you're not good. Like Kwame Brown, I was saying this even when he was playing, like he was good for what he was good for. He was a really good defender, and he was a good rebounder.
He's not number one overall player good though. That's probably the difference when he gets like the criticism he gets like that. Like for me, there's certain players I'll judge them differently of the simple fact of like you're drafted at a certain position. Like I used to be real critical of Brandon Ingram because I'm like he's not playing up to a second overall pick type of stature until that the second half of that season with the Lakers on the last year.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, now you're starting to see why he was drafted second overall. But up to that point, he really hadn't shown it. So I was very critical of him.
Right.
And I think he gets that same criticism, but it also doesn't help that a dude like Stephen A. Smith pretty much made his career early on clowning you.
Everyone, I mean, because if you go good pass. By the way, that
was terrible defense.
Go look at Kwame Brown when he was in Charlotte. Go figure. Jordan brought him to Charlotte. It was just crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
And they had Charles Oakley on the coaching staff. Charles Oakley made him a serviceable big man.
Yeah,
honestly, I think he's been a serviceable big man. Like he just wasn't. No,
he wasn't number one. He wasn't number one overall pick. Good. That's all it was. If he had been drafted like number 15, it probably would have been different.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the word bust is still applicable, but it's just not for him. Like I said, you played 13 seasons and the highest level of basketball. There's nowhere in the world you can be a bust.
Yeah,
no way.
And for the people who actually use that term loosely, pause. There's certain players where it does apply to, but there's certain players where it doesn't. Prime example: when people say Greg Oden, I don't say that Greg Oden is a bust because
he was injured.
His career got cut short due to injuries. You can't control that. Sam Bowie the same way. There's certain players, these injuries come around. You can't do nothing about that.
Harold Miner wasn't a bust because he actually had a serviceable career. He just got his. Go ahead, Mark.
Harold Miner wasn't a bust neither. Harold Miner was actually a pretty good player. He just seemed like whatever situation he ended up in, they had a whole lot of guards. You know, it was a log jam at that position everywhere he went, from Miami, from Cleveland to Miami. They had guards
Money.
there, so it was hard for him to find his niche. But he was a bust. I think a bust is somebody like and I hate to say it, but Anthony Bennett.
There's no hate to say it. That's the prime example.
That's a fact.
That's
Anthony,
the prime
Yeah.
example. He even though, all right, for example, you can still not live to being number one overall, and like you said, still be serviceable. Anthony
Mhm.
Bennett wasn't serviceable. He actually when he got into the league, he barely played, and when he played, he didn't look like a good player. At least when Greg Oden played, you saw that you see why he was drafted number one overall.
Yeah,
right?
you've seen flashes.
Yeah, you most definitely saw flashes of why. Okay, I understand why they drafted number one overall. With Anthony Bennett, you never ever even thought about it when you watched him play. Like, why in the world was he drafted number one overall? At certain times, it's like, why in the world was he drafted?
Yeah.
It was very bad. I think he averaged like the most he averaged in 1 year was like 7 points. That's now if you're gonna label somebody a bust, that's the dude right there. Because even Anthony Bennett, because even when he went to another team, he wasn't that good, and he was pretty much out of the league in 5 years.
he was garbage.
He was
With
done.
I think before 5 years.
Yeah. All the way candy. But no, I'm not gonna say that. He was in the league for a while. Was he?
Yeah, he was in the league at least 6 years. Because I
Anthony
remember
Bennett?
when he got traded,
No, I'm talking about Oliver Candy. I think I'll say Oliver Candy.
I don't
because
think
he made.
I don't think Oklahoma Candy was a bust. I just think that, like you said, it's that first pick.
Yeah, some people end up being a victim of being drafted too high.
And I just think some people are victims of being drafted in the wrong situation.
And I think Kwame Brown was definitely in the wrong situation based off of what he said. And the thing is, everything that he said doesn't sound far fetched, especially if everybody watched the documentary.
Right.
So imagine you as an 18-year-old kid, and you got to deal with a 41-year-old talking to you like that on a consistent basis. Not every 18-year-old is strong. You know, everybody, we all are 18 at one point.
Right.
And somebody like around that age that, they talk down on you like that, you're going to shut down.
And I think also.
And when did
he ended up-
Cameron get a black eye?
Who?
I don't know.
Cameron
But probably we was talking smack to Caruso. But you know what I'm saying? But with Kwame Brown, and I think he's feeling like, man, I grew up idolizing Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And this dude is treating me like I'm like garbage. Like, so you also got to wonder, like, man, his self-esteem was just, like you said, the confidence, self-esteem was probably like, man, this is the dude who I grew up watching as a kid on Saturdays and Sundays and having this poster probably in my room and stuff. And now.
And you know whose fault that is? The coach, Doug Collins.
Yeah, because Doug Collins would never stand up to Jordan.
No, he's not. He would never do that.
Because Jordan hired him.
Yeah, he's not going to stand up to Jordan. So everything that was wrong on that team was Kwame Brown's fault. It wasn't Jordan's fault. It couldn't be Jordan's fault. Jordan won 6 rings. It's not going to be Jordan's fault. Jordan's the owner. It's not Jordan's fault. Let's bring Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown. So that's what,
and that doesn't help either. I think that right there made probably the whole situation way worse.
Oh, it did, because Stephen A. basically made him basically a meme.
And it made Stephen A. Smith like very popular, because I remember I was young during that time. I used to go back and laugh at that video. And it started, and that's the reason why we say Kwame Brown. It was being said for years.
And he called him basically, and every time he spoke to him, he always called him a scrub.
Yeah.
Good hustle, THT.
Yeah. I feel certain ways about when you get to a certain point and you feel uncomfortable with people talking to you on the court. Like it's basketball that happens, but I also understand you being 18 and but I also that's another way he was successful, man. They say you're successful when your idols become your rivals.
It's hard when your rival is also your boss. Your idol and your rival is your boss, and your coach doesn't have your back at all.
but see, I also feel like it really shouldn't have been a rivalry. It should have just been. It could have been taken as, hard love, tough love, which comes along with sports. Like the higher you get level of sport you play, the tougher the love is. So I think,
Oh yeah,
I
I agree.
I think that all comes with sports. But like I said again, man, when you 18 and you at the highest level, that
He made
can't
it.
that
Oh,
can't
no,
kill
he
your
didn't.
confidence. I can understand that.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially considering you got to think about it like this from the mental aspect as well. Up to this point, Kwame Brown has always been like probably the best player on the court.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
He's been pretty much the best player since probably he was like 12 or 13 years
Yeah.
old.
And and then you get to the NBA and you number 1 overall pick, then you first and foremost, you barely getting played, which was true. If you go back and think about it, they would play Kwame Brown, but he wasn't getting like big minutes like that early on. But everybody's different when it comes to rookies. But
And then
when you have number 1 overall pick, that's a whole different story.
And then you're going up against Shaq, Tim Duncan, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, and you an 18-year-old kid. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, it's not for everybody. And he made it 13 years, obviously, from his time from Wizards, getting traded to the Lakers. I still hate that trade because we had to give up Caron Butler. But it got us Pau Gasol, but I'll live with it.
He had to deal with 01 Shaq. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
At 18. Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. And 01 Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I mean,
brutal.
come on, dude.
That's
Dikembe Mutombo
brutal.
won Defensive Player of the Year that year.
That's brutal.
Speaking of guy Hall of Famers, last week we talked about the 2020 Hall of Fame class, which was legendary.
Yes.
And the next day they made the announcement for the 2021 class. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this class.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, we have Ben Wallace,
I agree.
Chris Bosh,
I agree.
Chris Webber,
I agree.
Paul Pierce.
I agree.
That's the NBA.
Okay.
International, Tony Kukoc.
Yeah.
On the WNBA, Lauren Jackson,
Okay.
all-time Seattle Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yolanda Griffith. She was the MVP when they had the Sacramento Monarchs.
I forgot about them.
They're not around no
They're
more.
not around no more.
Neither is Houston Comets. We're still, I don't understand to this day.
They were good too.
They were great. They were the best team. They were the best team in the WNBA. How did they beat? That's a story for another show. On the coaches, Bill Russell, he's getting in as a coach. Jay Wright from Villanova and Rick Adelman.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this first of the 2021 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class, gentlemen?
Which people are up for the is it gonna be their first time?
Well, I think Paul Pierce is the only first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I hate to have this discussion again.
Why is that?
All right, so I have this thing about first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And great as Paul Pierce was, is he first ballot Hall of Fame good?
Yeah. You don't think so? You don't think Paul Pierce is first ballot Hall of Fame?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I want to think about that, but I'm kind of leaning towards yeah. But I want to think about that.
Okay.
The only reason why I say that is because he has a couple of things that went against him. That's not really his fault. Now, for me, a first ballot Hall of Famer is one of those guys where off the rip, when you see just like him, when he's on the court, he's one of the best players on the court at all times.
All right, this class we just had, I went in.
Yeah, like these dudes were either one or two of the best player on the court at every single moment they was on the court. And for Paul Pierce, there was times where he was like that, most definitely. Now, I start adding championships. He got a championship. All right, cool. He got the All NBAs. He got all that. But the thing is, the MVPs where I start getting like,
He had no MVPs.
He has no MVP, so that's where I'm like, that's where the first ballot is kind of iffy to me because for me, for first ballot, you got to hit all those checks. If you can't get the championship, which is understand not every first ballot can get the championship, but like you have to. There's some pivotal checks he has to hit, and he didn't hit one of the main checks. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
I can't say that because Jason Kidd didn't win MVP. He definitely was a first ballot Hall of Fame.
But he hit all the other checks though. And Jason Kidd was consistently and during his career quite possibly either the first or second best point guard in the league consistently. Or for sure, he's for sure in the top 5. Like with Chris Paul. Chris Paul first ballot Hall of Fame. He didn't get the MVP or the championship, but what he does as far as everything else, and he's consistently been the as far as long as he's been a top 5 point guard in the league for pretty much almost his entire career. That's little stuff like that. There's other stuff that that can that help you outweigh the other stuff, but that's major.
Got it.
What did y'all make of the interaction with Chris Webber and Jalen Rose?
I find that dope. I wouldn't have done it if I was what you call it, but that's just me. I'd still have an issue with him behind that because that was I'm not even involved in the whole situation. I'm upset about that. That was some whole different shit right there.
Well,
I can't talk about that until tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Chris Webber said he didn't know that Jalen Rose was going to interview him, which is crazy because you're going on NBA Countdown. But he thought maybe it was just going to be Maria Taylor. But I mean, you gotta know once they found out Chris was going in the Hall. Jalen knew obviously a day before that Chris was going in the Hall of Fame, and they were like, this just seems right that we have a Fab Five reunion on ESPN. So Chris Webber went on TNT. He was on Dan Patrick's show last week, and he said him and Jalen still got some issues they have to talk out as men. They have to do that behind closed doors. But I'm assuming that Jalen's going to get an invite to Springfield when C-Webb goes in the Hall of Fame in September. But yeah, so I look at it from this point of view that Jalen and Chris Webber, they have to figure out, okay, we're grown. These two dudes are grown men. They need to go ahead and squash whatever it is that the situation. And look, mostly it's Chris Webber's fault. We all saw the Fab Five as we all had it on our list for our top 30 for 30s.
That was his fault.
But you can tell it seemed awkward when they talked about growing up in Detroit, how much Jalen's mom meant to Chris Webber and this and that, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But it seemed so awkward. Like, man, I love you, brother. And then C-Webb was just like, I love you too. It just seemed that's because dry, cold. It was like awkward, man.
That's because like that whole situation, it really cut deep. You really got to think about that because even outside of him cutting early from because they all supposed to leave at the same time.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. That was the plan from the beginning. We all come here at the same time. We all gonna start. We all gonna win, and we gonna get up out of here all in the same draft.
Right.
And C-Webb was like, we all knew he was the best player out of all of them.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt about how great he was as a basketball player. But okay, that's where he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a stinger.
Yeah, most definitely. But that whole situation with the dude, I think that's the one situation that that's probably has everybody like in that rift, especially considering rest in peace, he's not around anymore.
I think he needs to really, and I wonder to this day, has he ever apologized to Ed Martin's family for what he basically said in that press conference, how he tried to take advantage of him, and then Ed Martin's son was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, he was one of those dudes. He looked out for everybody, And
Jalen, and people forget, and Mark, let you chime in on this. Jalen said it in the Fab Five. Yeah, I admit I took money from the dude. The dude gave me gas money. He gave me money to go get a pizza. When I needed some bucks to go to the movies and hang out with my fellas, he hooked me up.
Mm-hmm.
Chris lied.
Yeah.
He cleared out lied.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Chris wanted to save his face. But at the end of the day, man, I will hope, I'm going to tell you what they should do or how they should feel. I will hope that as grown men, they can come together and have a conversation and Chris Webber can acknowledge the wrong he's doing. Maybe Jalen Rose can acknowledge whatever he did wrong, and they can they don't have to be best friends, but be so awkward when they be around each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because obviously, look, the whole Fab Five is going to be at the Hall of Fame in September. It just would seem awkward if Jalen was. Now I'm assuming Jalen's going to be there because now they've had this PR stunt on television because of ESPN. It's going to look like a bad look if Chris doesn't invite him. Now, yeah, like Mark said, they still got to talk this out. Like men, like I said, they got to get behind closed doors. They got to chime out, and say, let each other say what they got to say, and then move. And hopefully, it's squash. You got to make that THT.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix falling back. It's not good. Now, but in the meanwhile, I mean, I'm glad he got in the Hall of Fame. But the timeout. Call timeout. Call timeout.
Yeah, he better call timeout.
They didn't cut this lead deficit within 2, man. Man, this is gonna be interesting. Look, I already said Lakers in 6, so I'm not gonna try to get myself too worked up. But they have to continue playing well.
I said our series was going 7 games.
No, they just got to have LeBron on the court at all times. That's what it looked like.
That's not good.
That's not, and I don't think that's even possible.
It's
That's not good. That looks very bad for Anthony Davis. That's all I'm saying. Is Anthony Davis? He needs to. He's in a perfect predicament because you playing with LeBron and you have this opportunity to take over. One of the more story franchises in not even just basketball and sports. And you had this great opportunity, but man, you better not fumble it. Because the last thing you want to do is fumble opportunity up in LA. Because boy, you gonna hear it.
Dallas 22-13 right now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Why did they put those 2 games on at the same time? I do not know.
Makes no sense.
Let's make some predictions for the first round, then we'll go into calling out names. Let's start in the East. Wizards, Sixers, Wizards.
Sixers.
How many games?
6.
I got Sixers in 5.
I got Sixers in 5 too. Knicks, Hawks.
I have that's a tough series, man.
Yeah,
I have the Knicks in 7.
I got the Knicks in 6.
I got them in 7. I think that game 7 in the Garden is going to be crazy, and Trae Young is gonna be on some Reggie Miller type stuff.
I think at some point in this series you'll see Julius Randle calm down and be Julius Randle.
I agree.
Yeah, the Garden either make you or break you.
We all predict Brooklyn's going to sweep Boston, so move on.
They're winning in 3 games.
Well, basically, and then Milwaukee, Miami.
They're going back to Miami. I want to say that this season go to 6 games, but I don't know if it's gonna look real bad if Miami doesn't win this next game. It's gonna look very bad, and it's not gonna look good for Jimmy Butler.
I'm going Milwaukee in 5.
I got Milwaukee in 6.
Yeah, I think I'm going the same way. Milwaukee in 6.
All right, let's go over to the West. Jazz, Grizzlies.
I think this series is gonna be tougher than what people think, but I got Jazz in 6.
Yeah, I think no, I got Jazz. I think it's gonna go 7 games.
I do too. But I still got Utah. I still got a Jazz winner. Jazz in 7.
I'll be honest with you. If it goes 7, if it goes to the 7th game, I will put money on Memphis. But I got Jazz in 6 though.
Right. I think the same way. If they do not want to see John Moran in the 7th game, because I think he's going to show out.
And I also think that Memphis won't feel no pressure. It's Utah that feel all that pressure, and I think they'll all come out paws tight. And I think
By the way, Donovan Mitchell will play tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a big difference. Big difference.
That's why I said I think Jazz in 6.
You say, huh?
I still think that I still think that Jazz win the 6.
All right. Clippers, Mavericks.
I got Clippers in 7.
I got Clippers in 6.
I got Mavs in 6. I think y'all toyed with the basketball gods, man. I think the basketball guys didn't like that y'all ducked it, that y'all went down from the 3 to the 4, man.
Oh, the basketball guys didn't like that they went down. That's different.
That's kind of crazy.
But we'll see. I think
THT,
Madison,
what the heck was you doing?
he's going to find himself on the bench. That's what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be doing. He's going to be finding himself not playing in the rest of this series.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Where's the defense, man? Y'all know
Hey,
this dude.
Chris Paul is cold for that one.
Yeah. That's going. Dennis Schroeder, you're not earning your contract. You're
Not
earning-
right there. Where
Or-
Anthony Davis at?
right there.
Money.
Woo. Short. They going to come out and try to take the lead. Oh, and they bring in drum. What? Okay.
16-6 run.
Okay.
Yeah,
I still got.
Ooh! You try to get him with the Rondo. You saw that?
Yeah, he tried. He just almost did it too.
Yeah, for real.
Here's that play. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
No look. Torrey Craig said, "Yeah." Poster. We got some
Uh-oh.
breaking news.
Yeah. The Falcons
Yes.
are trying to get Shannon Sharp fired for that phone call he made.
Are you serious?
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you?
How?
Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
What? That's crazy.
Hold on. Let me be perfectly clear. Y'all mad because Julio Jones asked 2 months ago to be traded, and he just went on national TV and said it because he has a relationship with Shannon Sharp. Atlanta, get yourself together. Stop it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Back to the picks. I got Lakers in 6 still against the Suns. Good shot, Schroeder. We'll see. It's gonna
I think it's gonna be a 7-game series.
Mark.
I got
I got the Lakers though, but I think it's gonna be 7 games.
I got Lakers in 6.
All right. And then Portland, Denver.
Portland too inconsistent for me.
No, this is
I got Denver. I got Denver in 6.
I think I got Denver in 5.
I think I got Denver in 6. Because I don't think Denver can win 2 games in Portland. That's gonna be a hostile environment. So then we'll come back after the series and we'll pick the second round. We're just gonna pick them around. By the way, we're just seeing who picks the game. We're just going by the team, and now we're going by the games because obviously anything can happen. All right, it's the 50th, but it wouldn't be the 50th if we didn't do our man Dolly's favorite segment. Shout out to Dolly, and that's the one and only calling out names. 50th episode edition. For those who've never heard the segment, this is often imitated, never duplicated, where we have to call out people for certain actions in the sports world. Good defense, Cools. So I'm calling out one person, an entity. Gotta make that Schroeder. There you go. There you go. I'm calling out the WNBA front office. I don't know if y'all heard. Hey, did y'all hear this story with Liz Cambage?
Yeah.
No, what happened?
So, those who don't know, Liz Cambage, the starting center for them Las Vegas Aces.
Oh, girl, it's like 6'8".
Yes. So, they played the Connecticut Sun the other day.
Sweet Jesus.
And Connecticut Sun coach Kurt Miller,
Yeah, Nick.
in his press conference, made a reference saying that she's 6'8", 300 pounds, and that's basically trying to get the refs to call more offensive fouls on her. She's basically trying to give her the Shaq treatment.
Wait. First and foremost, bro, she is not nowhere close to 300 pounds.
That's where the controversy is.
Yeah, like, hold on, player. She not even, he's tripping.
First, she's 6'8". She's like 230.
At the most.
She said, and then she went on a rant on Instagram. And now this is where my issue was with the WNBA. I get why they fined Kurt Miller, because obviously those comments were obviously trying to influence the refs. I didn't get why they suspended him for 1 game. Maybe I'm wrong, and I think obviously maybe because this is a man talking about a woman's weight is why they did this.
That's exactly why it is.
So my question would be to you gentlemen, if this was a woman coach who said this about this young lady, would that have been the same punishment?
No, because I don't think a woman coach would have said something like that, at least not in public. Second of all, it most definitely is. What's one of the golden rules we're taught when we're younger? You never ask a
woman her age or a woman her weight.
Yep. That's all I got to say about that one.
Mark?
All right. I'm gonna agree with y'all for the sake of keeping the show alive.
Yeah,
because it's crazy. I didn't like this. I understood why they issued the punishment they did, but I really would wonder if the woman said this about another woman, would this have also been the same punishment? But I'm gonna give Kathy Engelhardt, who's the commissioner of the WNBA, the benefit of the doubt. Says she would have probably did the same thing, because I think
that wasn't a foul.
Yeah, it was. They're saying LeBron's trying to say all ball, but they're gonna call foul. But that's why I feel. I think they probably need to show. They have to show. They're showing inclusion. They're being about equality, and they've been at the forefront of social justice issues and political issues since the beginning of this movement. So I understand there. My other calling out names is for my Lakers, and as I'm watching them, they're up 6. I'm calling out Anthony Davis 1. Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr.
His middle name is Marshawn?
Yes.
I never knew that. Come on,
Because
man.
I heard Kendrick
Mr.
Perkins
John.
say it like 20 million times on the jump. Stay in the paint.
Yeah.
Don't be shooting no fadeaway threes. When you get the ball, attack. Number 2, Frank Vogel. Make adjustments. I know you're coaching against the potential coach of the year, but do not get out coached. You are still the coach of the reigning NBA champions. Role players. Make your shots. Kuz, I don't want you going 0 for 2. Any other time you wouldn't hesitate to shoot the ball. KCP, you can't go 0 for 7 for 3, fam.
But he today, so
Come on, Kentavious.
KCP playing like KFC.
Yeah, well, the other day, DeAndre Ayton made Andre Drummond and Anthony Davis barbecue chicken. So
he was Andrew Davis that day.
Good point. There you go. I want to see 7-footers in the paint. And no, he's not. And I love Anthony Davis. He's not better than Joel Embiid.
No.
They're not even the same position. Pause. Joel Embiid's a center. Anthony Davis is a power forward.
I don't care
End
what
of
they
discussion.
Joel
And
Embiid's
it don't matter. It don't matter if they're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Joel Embiid is the better player than Anthony Davis. And that's the bottom line.
Andre Drummond already has 10 rebounds.
Good. Good. Nick, you up, man.
I only have one for calling out names today, and that is the Clippers. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. I have one thing to say. I know what you did last summer.
Wow.
Hey, y'all are my team. But I will talk about y'all just as bad as everybody else will if y'all do what y'all did last year again. And it'll be worse. I'll be clowning just like y'all the Laker fans will clown y'all because y'all deserve to be clowned. I am a realistic fan. Y'all cannot do this. That's all I have to say.
Mark, you got anybody for this 50th version of calling out names?
Yeah, Buffalo for signing a kicker first. A punter first.
Are you kidding me?
But no, I don't have any. Let's go, Bills.
Wow, I guess the Clippers must have heard me. They for sure just scored like 5 straight points. About time. They still losing, but yeah. Huh?
They on NBA TV.
Yeah, NBA TV.
No, 693. Oh,
Or Bally Sports West. Or Bally. They're not, by the way, they're not Fox Sports West anymore. They're Bally Sports, like the casino.
Oh no! Come on, let's go to the Clippers.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's all I got to say about them.
Yeah, I don't have anything for calling out names.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, that has been the 50th edition of One Calling Out Names. As we head on out here, again, final remarks and thoughts on our 50th episode, and what you guys just want to get your chance to just speak to the people.
For me, man, I just want to thank everybody who's like I said, been involved with this. B, for producing it, allowing us this platform. John for saying yeah when I asked him if he wanted to do it and coming from the board and shit, all y'all. And then most importantly, man, I appreciate everybody who listen, chime in, who support. We appreciate y'all, man. We got to keep going forward.
Nick,
Man, I appreciate everybody, all the supporters. You know, this show would be nothing without you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I have to say.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank these two brothers. Thank Mark for the idea, for being ready, for having the vision. Nick Freeze joining the crew a couple episodes in, even just as a contributor, then became part of the family full time. And obviously, I want to thank everyone who watches, who views, who downloads, not just here in the States, but all over the world. I'm glad we're making a difference. And all those who hate, thank you too, because you just made us work harder. We're not going anywhere. You're still
stuck
here
with us.
Pretty much.
for the next 50,000 episodes. Thank Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. Shout out to Apple. Shout out to Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Verbal. All those who allow us to post our podcast on their platform. Shout out to Facebook and YouTube, allowing us to stream every week.
Most definitely.
Shout out to everyone who gets in the message boards, all the comments, all the questions, all those who like the post, those who follow us on social, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And shout out to the whole umbrella. Shout out to Dudley. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Ill Will. Shout out to Big Homie Smiles. Shout out to everybody. Y'all, it's a movement.
Shout out to the little homie.
Shout out to the homie. Shout out to B-Fin.
Most definitely.
Shout out to all those who were some day ones. All those. Shout out to sports vets. Everybody. SoCal. I see you. All y'all who've been down with Sports U for day one, and y'all just came on the ride, pause, during these 50 episodes.
Coming on,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So I'm looking at right now, we're heading on the Clippers and the Mavericks are now. By the way, NBA, don't ever do this again.
Please don't.
Don't ever put two LA teams on at the same time during the playoffs. Regular season, that's out of their control. Playoffs, you know the schedule. You do not put the Lakers and Clippers on at the same time just because at the same time. That's not fair. But I get it. By the way, I don't understand the purpose of y'all having the cardboard cutouts. I mean,
Sit down.
yeah, Luka posterized somebody. I was like, yeah, that's your boy, been ready. But as we head on out of here, episode 50. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all next week for episode 51. We'll be talking more NBA playoffs, latest in the NFL, maybe some MLB, but we're definitely going to be talking a lot about the NBA playoffs. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at Sports For You Podcast, Townhouse Media Now. Like us on Facebook, Sports For You Podcast, Townhouse Media. Subscribe to Townhouse Media on YouTube. Again, on the digital side, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and Verbal. Thank y'all again for joining us as we commence this 50th episode. Enjoy the rest of these playoffs tonight. Lakers, Suns, Clippers, Mavericks. Enjoy the playoffs for the rest of the week. Tune in tomorrow. There's no rules going down tomorrow, B? No rules, but tune in real soon. Just keep following Townhouse Media for all the next, episodes of all our podcasts, where it's Treetop Radio, us, Sports For You, No Rules, Too Much Game, Cat versus Dog, the whole crew. Love y'all. Thank y'all again. I'm John. That's Nick Freeze.
What it do?
That was Mark. That's been ready on the board.
Yes,
And this-
sir.
And that has been the 50th episode of Sports For You. Good night. God bless. Peace.
Are you kidding me?
$50.